We're following breaking news from Norfolk. Firefighters are still trying to put out a massive 3-alarm fire in Ocean View. They've been on the scene now for 4 hours. This all started around 7 this evening. We know at least 4 buildings are destroyed. 10 on your side's Matt Gregory has been at the scene for hours as the fire continued to spread. Matt, what's the latest?
Deanna, the latest is that it looks like the fire is under control. Not out completely, but under control. Behind me, you have ladder trucks that continue to shoot water down into the structures. In total, when I was talking to the battalion chief, he said 4 structures he believes have gone at least mostly engulfed, possibly a 5th one. There is another ladder truck further back also putting out the fire. And as you can see, it's been a very cold night. A lot of this moved so quickly, the fire did, exacerbated by the wind. You can look at what we saw when we got to the scene around 8 o'clock. Now, at 8 o'clock, the fire had been going on for at least an hour, and all 4 of these buildings back here, they're condos, at least 1 home, and possibly an apartment, all went up very quickly. One of the major issues with that wind kicking up was that it was forcing embers across the street. You see, this is on the bay side, and it was crossing over the Ocean View. In fact, I believe when I was speaking with one of the firefighters, they said at least one of the homes on the other side of West Ocean View Avenue caught fire. They were able to put it out, but that's what they've been dealing with, high winds, and on top of that, very cold temperatures. Now, while we were at the scene, we ran into people who were watching as the fire inched closer and closer to their homes that they had to evacuate, and this is how it looked to them.
First I heard the sirens, and then my neighbor said look out back, and then all of a sudden I saw everything just in flames. In flames, and it's just getting worse with the wind. See, now it's heading over to that building over there. I just hope nobody got hurt.
I thought someone was going around breaking in the cars. I heard alarms going off, and I looked outside, and there was this fire. And
now, to give you an idea of just how cold it is, look at the power lines right here. These are the power lines. You can see the icicles hanging from them. It's been so cold with this wind chill that the firefighters are not only dealing with a fire that continued to spread, but also with freezing temperatures of their own. I've seen them getting into ambulances throughout the night to warm up, to continue to fight this fire. I mean, this has gone on for 4 hours now they've been out here. Now, the other issue, dozens of people inside these condos. We don't have a number yet on how many. We're working to get that, but dozens of people displaced tonight on one of the coldest, if not the coldest night of the year, looking for shelter. I just saw Red Cross come to the scene. I understand they're setting up a shelter nearby, and for people who need to get to that shelter, transportation will be at 12th Avenue and Bayville. But on the coldest night of the year so far, people out of their homes, nowhere to go to, and dealing with losing not only everything of theirs, possibly, but also losing a place to be warm tonight. In Ocean View, Matt Gregory, 10 on your side.
Matt, thank you so much. Now joining me on the phone is Battalion Chief Julian Williamson with the Norfolk Fire Department. Battalion Chief, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Deanna.
So what can you tell us about the extent of this damage? I know Matt said there's not a full count for how many people are impacted, but do we know how many units, how many people are without a home tonight?
Right now, Deanna, like I said earlier in my report, confirmation there were 4 units, condo apartment buildings that were affected by this. Also, you know, we will have some, as we assess this further, some other structures that were received some fire damage. Winds were very hot at night. We had embers flying around, but we were very fortunate. No one was hurt. We did initially, on that initial call, we did rescue someone out. They were treated and transported over to a local hospital for smoke inhalation. But at this time, that's all the injuries that we have to report.
So just that one injury, but about dozens, would you say dozens of people evacuated tonight?
Yes, quite a few people inside those structures. We're talking about a couple 3-story apartment/condo structures. So we had quite a few people that we're working with Red Cross. Also within the city to get some shelter. We're opening up a nearby rec center to get these people out of the cold. We do have a power shutdown in the 1200 block of West Ocean View, probably 4 or 5 blocks down while we're combating this fire. So early on, we started making some phone calls to Red Cross and within the city to get some shelter for these folks. That's definitely a big concern for us, with this being a very cold night and having that power shut off and those
Right.
people being displaced.
And how are your crews doing? You had about 63 or so firefighters out there battling in this intense cold. How are they doing?
Actually, they're holding up pretty well. We called some resources out here to shelter them. We're also working on rehabbing them, getting some food, getting them some nourishments back in there so they can continue on. We'll be out here for a while, but we've been rotating our crews, keeping a close eye on them, being very careful out here. We do have freezing temperatures out here, and with the water being sprayed, the surfaces out here are very, very slippery.
Absolutely. Now, last question, Chief Williamson. Any initial cause? Has any cause been identified?
No initial cause has been identified. When the first companies arrived on scene, they did report heavy smoke and flames coming from a structure in the rear. So, but that's all we have at this time. We do have our fire marshals on scene. The main body of the fire is knocked down, but as soon as we can get in there and start shifting through some of this debris, we'll definitely start looking for a cause and origin.
All right, Battalion Chief Julian Williamson, thanks so much for joining us.